Secret number 1 is the conscious use of the power of questions. Questions are an incredibly powerful psychological tool, opening doors to deeper self-knowledge and understanding of others. They don't just extract information, but actively influence the thinking and behavior of the interlocutor as well as your own. By asking questions, you activate cognitive processes in the brain, forcing it to intensely search for answers, generate solutions, and consider the problem from new angles. This opens up unexplored possibilities and perspectives. For example, when faced with procrastination or loss of enthusiasm, ask yourself, what is the true deep reason I am doing? What truly motivates? If your goal is to improve mutual understanding with a loved one, don't be afraid to ask a direct question. What are you feeling in this situation? Can you share your experiences? And if you need to convince someone of your point of view or idea, try appealing to their empathy and logic. What do you think you would do in my place, considering all the circumstance? Using open-ended questions, starting with how, why, what, stimulates detailed answers, while closed-ended questions help clarify detail. Questions are a bridge to understanding the essence of problems, identifying hidden needs and true desires, and also the foundation for building trust, sympathy, and strong connection. Secret number 2 is mastering the art of reading body language. Body language, or nonverbal communication, is a continuous stream of information that often says much more than words. It reveals a person's true mood, hidden emotion, subconscious intention, and even personality trait. This language includes facial expressions, including those fleeting micro-expressions, gestures, adopted postures like open or closed stances, the direction and intensity of gaze, physical touch, and even intonation and voice timbre. By studying and learning to read these signals, you can not only better understand the emotional state and motives of others, but also gain deeper insight into yourself and your own nonverbal reaction. Furthermore, this knowledge allows you to consciously manage the impression you make and enhance your influence on people. For example, when preparing for an important interview or meeting, remember the power of positive nonverbal signals: a sincere smile, maintaining eye contact, though not staring, straight posture, and open gestures like avoiding crossing your arms and legs. All of these convey confidence and friendliness. If you want to detect possible lies or insincerity, pay attention to the dissonance between verbal statements and nonverbal signals, as well as classic signs of nervousness like increased sweating, skin flushing, overly frequent blinking, fidgety hand movements, or changes in voice timbre. Remember, however, to interpret body language in the context of the situation and cultural specifics. Secret number 3 is the active application of positive psychology principles. This is a relatively young but extremely important field in psychology that focuses not on pathologies and problems, but on studying the factors of happiness, well-being, and optimal human function. Founders like Martin Seligman explore how people can live not just a normal life, but a full, meaningful, and satisfying one. Positive psychology encourages you to shift your focus to developing your unique strengths and talent. Learn to appreciate and celebrate your achievements, even small ones. Actively seek and realize your calling or purpose. Build and maintain positive, supportive relationships. Cultivate positive emotions like joy, gratitude, hope, and love, and lead a healthy lifestyle as the foundation of mental well-being. For example, to increase your subjective level of happiness, try incorporating the following practices into your life. Dedicate a few minutes daily to keeping a gratitude journal or writing down 3 good things that happened to you during the day, and analyzing why they brought you joy. Consciously set aside time each week for activities that bring you pleasure and in which you feel competent, a state of flow. Each month, set realistic, specific, and measurable goals that align with your personal values and deep interests. And each year, look for new opportunities to practice altruism, help other people, participate in volunteer projects, make the world around you a little better. The practice of mindfulness is also a key element of positive psychology. Secret number 4 is mastering the art of managing attention. Attention is the fundamental cognitive ability to focus your consciousness on what is truly important at the moment, while simultaneously ignoring or filtering out distractions and information noise. Attention is the cornerstone for effective learning, assimilating new information, developing creative thinking, successfully solving complex problems, making sound decisions, and exercising self-control over impulses and habits. The good news is that attention is not a static given, but rather a mental muscle that can and should be trained and improved through regular practice. For example, if you aim to enhance your ability to concentrate and be productive, consider the following approach. Incorporate daily mindfulness meditation practice into your routine, at least 10 to 15 minutes, during which you focus on the sensations of your breath, gently returning your attention each time it wanders to extraneous thought. Every time you start an important task requiring concentration, consciously create a conducive work environment. Remove all potential sources of distraction. Turn off notifications on your phone and computer, close unnecessary browser tabs, and ask colleagues or household members not to disturb you for a specific time. Use time management techniques such as the Pomodoro technique, working in intervals of 25 to 50 minutes with short breaks to maintain a high level of concentration and prevent mental fatigue. Every evening before bed, instead of scrolling through social media or watching TV, dedicate time to reading a physical book or listening to an audiobook. This helps switch the brain, delve into the narrative, and detach from daily worries, promoting better sleep and attention restoration. Secret number 5 is learning to recognize and avoid the traps of cognitive bias. Cognitive biases are systematic errors or patterns in thinking that cause us to perceive reality, ourselves, and others inadequately or prejudicially. These biases, often operating at a subconscious level, can seriously hinder our ability to see the objective picture of the world, critically analyze incoming information, draw logically sound conclusions, and act rationally and effectively. Moreover, cognitive biases often underlie negative emotional states such as anxiety, anger, despondency, contribute to the formation of low self-esteem, chronic stress, and even the development of depressive disorder. Examples of common biases include mind reading, which is being certain you know what others are thinking, catastrophizing or exaggerating the negative consequences of events, black and white thinking, where the world is perceived in extremes without shades of gray, and overgeneralization, which involves drawing global conclusions based on a single incident. To rid yourself of the influence of these mental traps, try applying the following cognitive restructuring strategy. Every time you encounter an unpleasant situation or experience strong negative emotions, ask yourself a series of critical questions. For instance, is this thought an objective fact or just my opinion or interpretation? Or are there other possible explanations for this situation? You could also ask, what specific evidence supports my point of view and what refutes it? And finally, what advice would I give a close friend if they were in the exact same situation? Every time you notice yourself using extreme words in your thoughts or speech, like all or nothing, always or never, must or must not, consciously look for more flexible, realistic, and nuanced formulation. Instead, try words like sometimes, in some cases, rarely, possibly, probably, or even phrases like I would like or I prefer. Keeping a thought diary can also be a useful tool for tracking and challenging irrational beliefs. Secret number 6 is the purposeful development of emotional intelligence, or EQ. Emotional intelligence, popularized by Daniel Goleman, is a multifaceted ability that includes the skill to accurately recognize, deeply understand, effectively manage, and appropriately express one's own emotions, as well as the ability to understand, interpret, influence, and constructively respond to the emotions of others. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is widely recognized as one of the most important factors for achieving success in life. In fact, it's often considered even more significant than traditional IQ. You see, EQ directly impacts our ability to communicate effectively, build and maintain healthy relationships, and collaborate successfully in a team. It also plays a key role in resolving interpersonal conflicts, demonstrating leadership qualities, adapting flexibly to changes, and managing stress in challenging situations. Here's something worth noting. Emotional intelligence isn't an innate trait, it's actually a set of skills, and the good news is that these skills can be developed and refined over time. In fact, they should be nurtured throughout life to help us grow and thrive in every aspect of our personal and professional journey. For example, if you want to increase your emotional intelligence level, try integrating the following practices into your life. Dedicate time daily for self-reflection. Listen to your inner sensation. Learn to identify and accurately name your emotions with words like, I feel disappointed, I'm experiencing anxiety, or I am overwhelmed with joy. Then, analyze the reasons for their occurrence and think about the potential consequences for your behavior. Every time you feel overwhelmed by a strong emotion, whether it's anger, fear, or resentment, pause before reacting. Apply the technique of deep diaphragmatic breathing and mentally count to 10. This will help calm your physiological reaction and give you the chance to respond more consciously and constructively rather than impulsively. In the process of communicating with others, actively practice empathy. Pay attention not only to the other person's words, but also to their nonverbal signals, like body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice. Try to sincerely understand their emotional state, point of view, and needs. Ask yourself, what is he or she feeling right? How can I support? Every time you face a conflict situation, avoid accusations and personal attack. Instead, try to understand the other party's position, even if you disagree with it. Look for common ground and strive to find a compromise or a mutually beneficial win-win solution. Secret number 7 is the continuous mastery and refinement of communication skills. Communication skills are the fundamental ability to effectively, clearly, respectfully, and purposefully exchange information, ideas, opinions, and feelings with others in both oral and written form. These skills are the absolute key to building and maintaining healthy personal and professional relationships, successful career advancement, effective learning, and continuous personal growth. It's important to understand that communication skills are not a single ability, but a complex set of various components, including verbal and nonverbal aspects. The ability to listen and speak, ask questions and give feedback, persuade and negotiate. All these components can be purposefully studied, trained, and improved. For example, if you want to enhance your communication mastery, consider these regular practices. Daily expand your intellectual and cultural background. Read quality literature, popular science articles, expert blogs, or other reliable sources of information. This will not only enrich your vocabulary and improve your knowledge of grammar and style, but also introduce you to diverse topics, ideas, and viewpoints, making you a more interesting conversation. Every time you act as a speaker, whether in a presentation, conversation, or discussion, strive for maximum clarity, precision, logic, and persuasion. Use simple and understandable language. Avoid jargon and ambiguity. Support your points with strong arguments, facts, and illustrative examples. Structure your speech for better perception. Every time you act as a listener, practice active listening. Be fully engaged in the conversation. Show sincere interest verbally and nonverbally. Maintain eye contact. Be open to the speaker's point of view, even if it differs from yours, and show empathy. Use active listening techniques such as clarifying questions like, "Did I understand correctly that?" Paraphrasing with statements like, "In other words, you mean," and summarizing by saying, "So if I understood correctly." The main points are to ensure correct understanding and show the speaker they are heard and valued. Every time you communicate in writing, whether it's emails, reports, or messages, pay attention to correctness, structure, originality, where appropriate, a creative, carefully check spelling, punctuation, grammar. Use a clear structure with headings, lists, and paragraphs, and formatting. Secret number 8 is mastering and ethically applying certain psychological techniques or tricks. Psychological tricks are simple, yet often highly effective methods of influencing one's own state and behavior, as well as the perceptions and reactions of others, based on knowledge of the patterns of human psychology and behavior. It is important to emphasize that this is not about manipulation, deception, or using people for selfish purposes, but rather about the ability to skillfully use one's strength, compensate for or overcome one's weaknesses, and also create a positive atmosphere conducive to constructive interaction and mutual understanding. For example, if you want to learn how to apply such techniques for the benefit of yourself and others, try the following. Daily practice. Expressing sincere gratitude and giving compliments to people you like, whose opinion matters to you, or with whom you want to establish contact. This is a simple way to lift their mood, strengthen their self-esteem, and increase their loyalty and favor towards. This is the principle of reciprocity. Every time you need to ask someone for something, and you can try the door-in-the-face technique. First, voice a deliberately inflated, unrealistic request that you expect to be refused, and then, after the refusal, voice your real, much more modest request. By contrast, it will seem more acceptable, and the chances of agreement will increase. Every time you need to remember important information like a name, date, term, or to-do list, use mnemonic technique. Repeat the information multiple times. Create a vivid visual association, or link it to something already well known, and also retell this information to someone else in your own words. This significantly enhances memorization and long-term retention. Every time you feel insecure before an important event, such as a presentation or negotiation, apply the act as if principled. Consciously adopt a confident posture, straight back, squared shoulders. Use positive phrasing and affirmations like, "I can handle this," or "I am well prepared," and speak in a clear and calm. Such behavior sends signals to your brain and can trigger a self-fulfilling prophecy effect, actually boosting your confidence. Using the interlocutor's name in conversation also creates a sense of close tension. Secret number 9 is understanding and using the psychology of color. Color psychology studies how different colors and their combinations affect our mood, evoke certain emotions, shape our perception of objects and situations, and even prompt specific behavioral response. Colors are not just a physical phenomenon, electromagnetic waves of different lengths perceived by our eye. In human culture, they are endowed with deep symbolic meaning, carry diverse associations, often culturally conditioned, and can serve as powerful nonverbal signals. Understanding these mechanisms turns colors into effective tools that can be consciously used to create the desired atmosphere in a space, express individuality through clothing and style, enhance influence in communication, and even achieve specific goals in marketing, design, or personal life. For example, If you want to actively use the power of color psychology, pay attention to the following aspect. Every day when choosing clothes, think not only about fashion and comfort but also about the message you want to convey and the mood you want to create for yourself and others. Use colors that highlight your best features, personally evoke positive emotion, and suit the context of the situation. For instance, blue or gray for a business meeting can be associated with reliability and professionalism, while bright colors are suitable for informal settings. Every time you are decorating your living or working space, designing a website, creating a presentation or promotional material, carefully select the color palette. Choose colors that harmonize with each other, reflect your personal style, corporate values, or the essence of your message, and also create the desired mood. For example, warm tones for cozy, cool tones for a sense of space and calm, and green for associations with nature. Every time your goal is to influence someone's decision, opinion, or behavior, like an advertising or a call to act, use colors strategically. Choose shades that are associated with the key idea of your message, such as red to attract attention, indicate discounts, or warn of danger, green for eco-friendliness or permission, and blue for trust and stability. These choices reinforce your argument more like evoke the desired emotion target audience. These were 9 expanded secrets based on psychology that will help you understand yourself and others better and become more effective in achieving your goals. I hope this information was useful and interesting for you.